everyone, and welcome back again to the 80s Movie Den. So for this episode, we're going to start my top 10 athletes of the 1980s segment. This is not going to be in any particular order. It's basically just the top 10 athletes that I chose of the 1980s, spanning various sports, that not only were fantastic at their craft, but how they influenced me and affected me, and how they transcended their sport and blended into popular culture of the 1980s. So we're going to start in the world of boxing. And I'm sure most of you can probably guess more or less who I'm going to choose. And it is Mike Tyson. So the reason why I chose Mike Tyson, there's various reasons why. For one, he influenced me to choose the NES over the Sega Master System. That was the dilemma, one of the dilemmas that I faced as a child growing up in the 80s. Do I get the Sega Master System or do I get the Nintendo? And one of the reasons why I got the Nintendo, not only because of Super Mario Brothers, but because of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. And that just goes to show how Mike Tyson transcended his sport and became this awesome video game, and became a great video game character. So that's one of the reasons why I chose him. Obviously his boxing skills. So Mike Tyson was born on June the 30th, 1966. He had a pretty tumultuous childhood. It was pretty rough, let's say that. It was pretty rough. His mom died when he was 16. He was taken in by Cus D'Amato, who was a legendary boxing trainer. Cus D'Amato had taken in some other athletes as well. He adopted Mike Tyson, took him in and treated him as his own, and really helped Mike Tyson become who he became. And I feel like people will always say this, that when Cus D'Amato passed away, Mike Tyson, I don't think he ever really fully recovered from it. And some of, the boxing world is full of a lot of, sneaky, slimy characters. And some of them weaseled their way in when Cus D'Amato was gone. And I feel like Mike Tyson lost his way a little bit. But he trained under Cus. He was absolutely ferocious. His first 19 fights he won by knockout. 12 of them were in the first round. He became the youngest world heavyweight champion at 20 years old. He defeated Trevor Berbick, and then in that famous fight against Michael Spinks, where he knocked out Michael Spinks. The fight lasted, I believe, 90 seconds, and he absolutely destroyed him. You could just see the ferociousness in the eyes of Mike Tyson when he was younger. He was built like a tank. He was very much built like he wasn't very tall. He was about 5'10". They built him at 5'11", but he was stocky. He had a thick neck, and he fought like a pit bull. He had a real kind of, he was great at dodging punches. His style was fantastic. He was ridiculously fast, and he had tremendous power. And he had a whole bunch of nicknames. Obviously, Iron Mike was the nickname that stuck with him. Kid Dynamite, baddest man on the planet. Kid Dynamite obviously was a nickname that was used in the Nintendo game, of course. I also remember once when Scholastic would come to the school and drop off those pamphlets, and as kids we got to order books or magazines out of those pamphlets. I remember ordering the Guinness Book of World Records, and I think it was a 1987 edition. And there were, in the sports section, there were a couple of pages about Mike Tyson, about how he had, knocked out most of his first 25 or however many opponents in the first round. And I was in awe of that, even as a kid. I was in awe of just how powerful and how fast he was. And, he was fighting other grown men, and most of them were bigger than he was, bigger and heavier than he was. And he was just taking them out. So he was a super exciting fighter. His life outside the ring in his early days, that was something else. That was something different. But again, I feel like if he was, if he had the right influences and he had the right guidance, I think that, he may not have gone in the wrong direction. But definitely a tremendous fighter. Now, was he my favorite fighter of all time? No. As I continued watching boxing, there were other fighters that I admired very much. I'd have to say one of my favorite fighters of all time was Evander Holyfield. And of course, Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson had a few battles. They were supposed to fight back in the early 90s. Evander Holyfield was to challenge Mike Tyson for the world title. But Mike Tyson's actions outside the ring prevented that from happening. But they ended up fighting in 1996, and Evander Holyfield beat Mike Tyson by TKO in the 11th round. And then in their infamous rematch, we all know what happened there. But as far as influential athletes of the 80s, Mike Tyson is definitely up there. And he deserves a spot in my top 10, no doubt about it. So yeah, let me know what you think about Mike Tyson. Leave some comments down below. Let me know who your favorite boxer was, or your most influential boxer was growing up, if you watched boxing in the 80s. So yes, Mike Tyson is the first of my top 10 athletes. I believe he's the only boxer that's on my list. I might have to go back and check. But yeah, he has to be in there. And again, not just because of his boxing ability, but because he helped me pick out my console. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed this segment. And hopefully you also leave some comments and give me your thoughts on Mike Tyson being one of the most influential athletes of the 1980s. This has been the 80s Movie Den, and as always, we'll catch you on the next one.